Can you made a fire to warm?
Welcome to Just Speak Up. Tonight, I have a lovely guest. It's my grandma. Hi, Gram.
Hi, baby.
Well, just so you know, I did hit record, so we are live and we are here to do whatever it is we do.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get it started. What is it
Even
that, go ahead.
go ahead. You started.
Okay. So what's one thing that you would love to talk about, but you just don't think people understand or would be able to talk to you about it?
Uh, I would like to talk. I like talking to younger people because I like their ideas or feedback, so it helps me to understand what the disconnection is between one generation to the next.
Do you feel that there's a disconnection from my generation to yours?
A big one, but not as big as a disconnection between uh, my my parents and me as there was between. I mean, I think maybe having you grow up around me and everything and watch you grow through the years. It was like so gradual that I thought pretty much fully understood you and the reasons that you did certain things.
You
But
understood me?
I think I
Go ahead.
think so.
Yeah. Well, we get along very well.
But I think so. It's one generation to the next. It's almost like it skips a generation. Like grandparent to grandchild is good, but when you go from parent to child, there is a tremendous gap in there that of misunderstanding
Huh.
and acceptance. And I see that more and more in just my own family and friends' families or friends that tell me the problems that they're having. Um, I can see it's very easy for me to see both reasonings that they have, but I don't know the connection, how to bring those two reasonings together because there's a gap there that I just don't understand why it's there.
I don't feel like there's a
You
gap
know, it was like,
between I don't feel like there's a gap between me and my kids. At least I haven't felt it yet.
no, you haven't. You have a tremendous um, connection with your sons. And I think a lot of people would love to know how that happens because it's not the norm. You don't usually see a parent and their children with that much of a connection.
Huh. I definitely take that as a compliment.
It's meant to be.
Thank you.
And I
Do
think I don't know. I want to understand that because I have someone in mind that I'm not going to bring up, but that I would like to be able to help them in this desperate time they're having with connection with their child.
uh
And I don't understand why it's there. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't get that either. So one thing that I've heard is, parents complaining and stuff and like just trying to get away from their kids and they're like, "Oh, you get it. Oh, you get it." And I'm like, "No, not really. I don't really try to get away from them. I don't need time away. I just keep going." Well, maybe that's not entirely true. Every once in a while. Like, "Yo,
Well, yeah, that's normal. Sometimes you just, need to get away in an adult world with an adult.
oh, the adult
And
world." The adult world is brutal.
in the adult world, it is. It's a very hard place to be.
Yeah.
And the older you get, the harder it gets.
When?
Yeah, I say wah too. I have experienced some things that I didn't think I would ever experience when I was younger. If somebody said, well, just, I had people say, well, wait till you get older and you'll see what I mean. Well, now I'm older, but I still don't see what they mean. I don't
Uh,
understand the thing. Um, reactions I get from teenagers.
well done.
Yeah. However, I don't, like with your boys, I don't have that feeling, that they're not attentive or understanding or anything else like that. But I think that stems because of the way you are with them. I don't know. But I came out of the Safeway one day and there were three teenage boys leaning up against my car on the driver's side. I could not get to my car door. And I'm standing there thinking, I have to stand and think, and I shouldn't have to stand and think what to say. But in this day and age, it's scary. So I just walked up and I said, excuse me, I need to get into my car. And they looked at each other and they just started laughing.
Did you
And
beat
I'm
him up?
standing there and I wanted to. I
Yeah.
felt like kicking one of them.
Uh,
And I thought, oh, I'm looking around. I don't know if I expected someone to just suddenly show up and come to my rescue, but I did not know what to do. I did not know what action to take. I did not know if they really cared if I did anything. I think they were just having a good time. And so finally, I just thought, well, they're just having a good time, so I'll just have a good time with them. And they're all laughing. So I just started laughing. And the minute and I'm, how I can laugh when I really laugh. And I was just going on and laughing and hitting the side of my head and laughing.
I'm about to
And
just start
finally they
laughing and
stopped
laughing right
laughing.
now.
Yeah, and all stopped laughing and they suddenly looked at each other and then they looked at me like, is she nuts or something?
Did you tell him, yes, I am?
And I said, no, I just think you guys are so funny. You really are funny. And I said, I just think you're funny, so I'm laughing. You think I'm funny, so I think you're funny. So we're all here laughing at each other and having a good time. I said, would you
That's
like to go in and have a Starbucks?
Did you get him Starbucks?
No, they took off.
Uh,
They didn't know what to think. I think they were scared.
why do you think it
I
is
don't know
people
what
like
of, but
stories?
because it makes them think. I like stories. When I was a little kid, and I'm talking about 10 or 11 years
You
old, in the
hearing them or
town I
you like
lived in, they
telling
had a
them?
place called the town square. Yeah, they had a place called the town square, and every Saturday you'd see all these elderly gentlemen in there playing chess or checkers, mostly chess. Once in a while you'd see them playing Crazy Eight or something like that. And I used to like to go down there because and listen to their stories. If someone wasn't playing or they were waiting for someone to show up for a game, I would just plop down in a seat and say hi and tell them what my name was. And they would just look at me sort of puzzled like. And I said, did you want to play chess? And I played chess with them quite a bit because I thought they were interesting because a lot of them were World War II veterans. And before long, I got to be so normal to the rest of them. They loved to tell me their stories. And some of them were just so gut wrenching. And I heard people in their struggles to get back to normality after World War II, and I was really too young to digest it. But I did try. And then I would
I
go to
To
my
digest
grandmother and I'd
what?
tell her about it, what they were
See,
saying to me,
I
because
don't
I didn't,
I don't know, sorry, but I don't know what it is. I don't like stories. I
you
wonder
know,
why. Do you think
mm,
do you think as you get older you like to tell them more?
yeah, I think so. The older you get, because especially if you happen to be around people that appreciate hearing them, I can get to a point in my life where I just don't even talk
See,
around
that's
certain
kind of
people.
where
I
I'm
just
at.
don't talk. Yeah.
It's weird though because sometimes I just don't want to say anything and I don't want anybody to say anything to me and sometimes I'm just like, "Hey,
Yeah, I'm the same way. I, I, a lot of times I talk to people in the neighborhood where I live, and they're walking up the street, and if I'm out there, they'll say hi, and I'll say hi, and they try to bring up a conversation, and I try my best to join in the conversation they're bringing up, but most of the time I find myself, I don't want to talk about the person across the street or the person down the street because I don't know that person.
huh."
And yet this person is telling me all about everybody else, and I don't want to hear it. So I'll make an excuse. I say, well, I got to go in the house, or go take a nap or whatever the heck, just to get away from the person because it
What
makes
if
me
you
so
just tell them you don't
uncomfortable.
wanna hear it? What if you just say, "I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna hear what
I
you have
have
to say."
I have done that in some circumstances where a person is really down mouthing somebody,
What did you do?
and I just find it so out of place. I said, I really don't want to listen to that because I don't know the person and I haven't formulated my own opinion yet. So I
Congratulations,
would
well
rather
done.
not listen to someone else's opinion until I can
Mm.
have an opinion to discuss. Um, and I always take the feeling that if you are in a group of people and the minute someone leaves the room, everybody goes and starts talking about the person that just left the room. And then I say to myself, well, if I got up and left the room, I know they would talk about me. And I immediately don't
Mm.
even want to belong there.
So, what about this? If you're in a room with people and they leave, why not only say what you're willing to say to them and then just hold on to it, but actually say it to them and not to the other people that are in the room? You know what I mean? Like if somebody's about to leave and you're like, "Oh man, I can't stand the fact that they talk so loud." Why not when you're with them be like, "Hey, you talk really loud. You want to just tone it down a
I
notch?"
do that.
Hey,
Yeah,
grandma,
I do that.
grandma, don't
I
get an
do that.
attitude with me right now.
I don't ever have an attitude with you, baby. I take you for anything you want to say because you do say some really intelligent things.
Oh, wow. I
You
can't
may
think
not
of
know it at the time.
So let's take a second and lighten up the mood, okay?
Okay.
Let's see what the funny animals have to do here.
Okay.
Up his horses that were in the field.
For the horses here, and this one might have got a little close.
These two little guys were spotted doing push-ups at the gym. This gorilla was
Yeah.
upset that their stick got stuck.
Oh no!
Whoa, that was crazy. Yeah. Look.
Yeah. Animals are so interesting.
Are you kidding me?
Poor guy got so upset.
That's funny. So, Grandma, do you have a question for me?
Yeah. Um, do do you or are you still finding your direction that you're going, or do you think that you found it totally?
Well, the direction, I think, like, spiritually, I'm I'm good. Like, I'm not saying that I have figured it all out, but I definitely love uh my spiritual ground that I have found in this life. And then I would say socially, um I'm not quite sure, and I don't know that I really care too much. I'm trying to lose that more than anything and just be me and not worry too much about the social aspect of it all. And like, my character, I absolutely love who I have become, and I definitely strive to be better every day, but I'm very pleased with the human being that I am and the thoughts that go through my mind and the actions that I choose to take. And then materially, um I'd like to have less everything and more nothing. So I guess I'm kind of going that way. Now, that's not to say I don't want nice things. I'd love something simple and nice, but I don't need a lot of material belongings. Maybe just some simple living. So yeah, that's pretty much my answer to that question.
Well, I think that's tremendous. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life.
That's a good question. What do you want to do with the rest of your life? It
That is a
is the
good question because
is the life is the life you're living w- what you want to be doing in your last days?
no,
Because would you say that you're in your last
that I,
days?
yeah, I'm in the last, well, I figure out, if you watch the news and most people are dying in their 80s, and I'm just starting in the last half of my 80s. And I'm really amazed sometimes to see that the age of some people, like certain movie stars that are dying, that I've been watching in movies since I was very
Uh,
young. And I didn't realize that they weren't that much older than me.
so
Um,
so
and I,
go ahead.
so I know that, I figure this way. I have doing a I spoke to a lady that is in the numerology, and she worked up a numerology for me, and according to her numerology, that I'll probably live to be 92.
And
Well,
how old are you
that's
now?
I'll be 86 the end of the year,
Okay.
so six
So
years and 2 months.
so if that's right, 6 years, 2 months. What would you really like to do with those 6 years and 2 months?
there's certain things that I'd like to do that I don't think I can do.
All right.
Uh,
Mm.
I would like to just be there, just be there.
Be there or be square.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to take a big trip. I don't want to, unless it's to another planet. If that was the case, I would go.
Looks like you're
But
halfway
that
there,
about
Graham.
being come, I would like to be able to go to another planet. I
Another
really
planet.
would. Yeah.
So
And I
that's
mean,
what
one
you
that
want to.
has life on it, because I really do believe that there is life on other planets.
So what
So I
about
would like to
what
be
about
able
if you
to.
hit up Elon and ask him if you could go on the next SpaceX rocket ship to Mars?
Well, you know, it, politically, I got an email from him one day asking me to do a questionnaire, which I was willing to do. I did the questionnaire. And then at the end of the questionnaire, he said, if there's one thing you could do, you could say that, ask me one question that you would like to know that I could answer. Would you go ahead and ask it? And I said, well, I would like to know if when you finally discovered the planet that has life on it, because I really believe in if you hurry up, you'll get that done in your lifetime. That if you could find room on the ship so I could go, I don't care if I die halfway there, but at least I'll know I'm on my way. But
Uh,
I would love to be able to meet an alien from another planet. I think might have once, but I would really love to.
well, you might
That's the
be
only
right.
thing I would like to do.
You might be right about not being able to do that because that's going to be tough to meet an alien.
I don't think I would be scared if I did.
Well, what are you going to be scared of? JG says, I'm down. Let's go." JG's in the comment right now, the comment box.
Okay, well, yeah. Why not?
Eh?
If you watch I think maybe, if one appeared outside my door and said, please help me because I got lost or something and waiting for them to pick me up. Can you hide me? And I'd say, sure, come on in.
Come on in. What?
Because
Hold on, Grandma.
I would say, come on in.
What? I think you might have to call ICE for that because if they're not a U.S. citizen, we might have to deport them.
No, I wouldn't have to call ICE. I wouldn't do that.
Not.
That's not the same thing.
It's not.
It's not the same thing.
What
No.
is something that really gets you going when people talk about it? What's something that gets you angry, or maybe not angry, but just gets you riled up?
Um, well, I'm a Trumpster.
A
And
Trumpster.
basically because I saw yes, what was before and what was during and what is happening and what he promised and what he's doing. So when people make comments that are not have any basis to them whatsoever, it's an opinion, and only because they don't like him. It's like don't shoot the messenger thing.
Mm,
Uh, uh, I truly idolized President Reagan and President Kennedy and Teddy Roosevelt. I didn't even know, but I had a teddy bear. Uh, I met Richard Nixon. I sat on his lap when I was 12 years old. But when I listen to him, when I listen to Trump, and I see what he says he's going to do and the reasons why, and then he becomes president and I see that that's what he's doing, then I get very upset when people say he doesn't do anything or he's this or he's that, but don't see or give credit for what he has done. I mean, if you want to put somebody down and shove them in dirt and push mud in their face and everything, that's fine, but you have to look at all aspects of the person before you condemn him.
Hmm. That seems like it really gets you going, Graham.
It does. It really gets me going. It gets me going. And because I love Trump, I love J.D. Vance, and I love Charlie Kirk, and
Ooh,
that
she
tore
did
me
it.
apart. I sat and cried. Yeah, I did. I sat and cried when he was killed.
Well, that
It
was a
was
sad occasion.
senseless, senseless.
Senseless, yes, but it
But
just
I've
goes to
also seen
show
some good that he's done.
it also goes to show that every one of us could be walking in the last days of our lives. So, how do we
That's
really want to
true.
live right now?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything that I can offer for the future except to be there for my family when they need me. If they open their doors and let me in, I'll be there with love, love as long as I can.
What
I
do you
worry
have?
about my great grandchildren
Why do you worry about them?
because the world is in such a turmoil stage that they can't be children like when I was a kid. When you was a kid,
When I was a
hey, when
kid,
you were a little baby,
the things that I grew up around, I mean, is worse than anything I've seen any of the kids I know grow up around, and it wasn't even that bad.
there were probably times, yes, that were terrible and that you should
Dude,
not have
I
had to
grew up in
endure.
a gang-infested, drug-addicted, alcoholic, beverage-having, horrible neighborhood over and over again. The influences that we had, the people that let, uh, young kids like us get our hands on things that we did, unbelievable. So, it was, I don't
Yes,
know. Sure, I got to run around and go play outside, but there was a lot of things I had my hands in at a very young age and that I was exposed to. But I think it's always like that. I think it's just always amazing to be a part of this human experience, but what humans have done with reality and how we live in society together, it's always been a messed up situation because we depend on ourselves and not God. Because we try to make all these man-made rules instead of just following God's laws, and we'd be good. But we as humans
yes,
can't
I
do that.
agree with you there.
Yep. So bada bing, bada boom.
Well, too, there's no such a thing as a person that there's anything uh, to do with the benefits of having money or growing up with wealth and everything. A lot of people, kids that grow up in wealth and that, they end up in a terrible life for themselves. And
Yep. It's everywhere.
some kids that can grow up in poverty that have nothing, just nothing, they have something to cling to. What is it? What is it? Because not all of them are open to church or taken to church or brought to a place where they can uh, develop their religion.
That was funny. Sorry, my bad.
You're bad.
Uh, there was this
But I just wish that people thought more about children's needs when they're little instead of how they're going to be punished when they're older because they break the law or do something wrong.
Yeah. So, Grandma, let me ask you something.
Well,
Why did you want to do this interview with me?
hi there.
Because I like talking to you for one thing, and I thought, we could getting together, we could get probably 10 years out of the middle of that gone.
10
Because you're
years out of the
different
middle
now
of
than you
what? What
are
do you mean?
normally,
What do you mean by 10 years out of the middle of that?
between one generation and the other.
Oh, got it.
Okay. It's all right. It'd be me to your mom. When your mom was growing up until the time that she was in her teens, late teens, she was very simple, a simple person. Went to school, did all her homework, never caused me a moment's grief. And then in her later years, things changed, and the gap sprout up, but I don't know where it came from.
Hmm.
I have sat many times and tried to figure out what happened in there, that 20-year gap, um, from childhood to adulthood, that seemed to get further apart than closer.
I would say that reality or life is distorted in such a way that people are miserable in this system and they're looking for something else that really is for that only them to find, but it has nothing to do with society and how we live. And these types of lifestyles where we go bad, it's like we're reaching for something or we need something more, and we're looking for it, and we find what we think is something that's great because it feels good at first, but then you realize boom, 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 no good.
Yeah, it's always looks the frosting on the cake always looks good, but it doesn't mean the inside of the cake is good.
Ooh.
But we have, as humans, I don't know if it's that way in other planets, but we as humans have everything turned inside out. You take a young couple that just meet each other, and they're young, and they're looking for something like they see in the movies. Wow, this is it. Enormous, and it's more of an attraction, a physical attraction, because they don't even know each other yet. Uh,
See, but
so they get hooked up or
I
whatever.
I think that's what it like the whole movie thing, like you can have that. Like the whole amazing wow thing, you can have that. I think what ruins it, honestly, is premature what would you call it? Intercourse or love making. I think that part of it
Yeah,
really kills it.
yeah. They haven't taken a chance to know each other yet,
Right.
and then it becomes a totally physical experience. And when they get down the road a bit, and starts getting boring because
Yeah, and they
there's
start
nothing
looking
else
at each other
there
like, "Oh my god, I gotta put up with this?"
for the rest of my life.
"Oh, wait, no, you could just get a divorce. Don't worry
I
about that."
Yeah, the kids, you have two, three, four kids. What the hell? They don't matter.
I think that's one
They
of the
fight
biggest
over them.
problems in the
Not that
world
either
is
one.
I think that's one of the biggest problems in the world is a broken home.
Yeah. And the children instantly become possessions.
Mm. The sad part
And
is
one
I
of them, one parent or the other, isn't going to let them have it.
yeah.
Same thing if you have a couple getting a divorce and they're fighting over the dog. Oh my
Ooh.
God. How would you like to be the child in the family and the father says, well, you can go with your mother,
But the dog's
you
staying with
know, you
me.
need your mother. But yeah, but the dog's mine.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I can imagine what a child would feel like.
Yeah,
I
but
had
can you
two
imagine a
stepbrothers
little
one time, they were twins.
can you imagine a little Bebe's kid though that you didn't want? You're like, "Oh man, you could have 'em." Actually, I don't know why I said that because I couldn't imagine that. I would want my kids. Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun, dun. Somebody else came in here.
I had I had two stepbrothers that were twins, and I'll never forget them. We were the same age, 1 month apart, and the one twin just thought I was the greatest thing ever, and the other twin hated me with all he can endure, and he would trip me or fall into me or spit in my soup or just all kinds of stuff like that.
Spit in your
And
soup?
my other stepbrother spit in my soup. I
Ooh,
can remember him
I'd rather
walking by
be
the
beat
table when no
up.
one was looking at me. I was afraid to eat when I was at my dad's house because I thought surely that my stepbrother is going to put poop in my soup
Oh my
or
goodness,
something,
grandma.
really ridiculous.
Poop in the
I
soup.
knowing him, yeah, scoop the poop in my
Poop
soup.
de poop in a boot.
I was always looking at my food you know, and finally, when a couple of years had passed, and I thought, well, my dad usually doesn't stay this long with a woman. I was hoping he'd get divorced and move on to the next experience that I was going to have. And uh, finally, it got to the point where I was going to have to tell him about it. So I did. I got mad, and I just got up from the table and I just started wailing the tar out of him. I mean, I was
Whaley.
hurting myself doing it, but I was just hitting him, hitting him everywhere I could hit him, kicking, hitting, and everything. And my stepmom pulled me off of him and she says, "You're crazy." And she says, tied me up in a chair and set me in the corner. My dad came home from work and he says, "What is she doing in the corner?" So she proceeded to tell him what horrible thing I had done, my hit her baby. He was almost twice my size, for God's sake. But anyway, my other brother, stepbrother, he stood up and he said, told him what he was doing to me all the time. And then he was punished. But
Oh
it wasn't
boy.
really, it didn't really help anything because they weren't talking to him. They weren't talking. They were just whacking him, and whipping him with a ruler, a yardstick. Whipping him with a yardstick and then put him on sort of bedroom detention for a week. But that didn't mean anything because they didn't talk to him. They didn't sit down and explain anything.
You think that's what helps? Talking? The talking to?
They have to have a they have to have some kind of a connection to talk about it. Why was this boy hate me so much? And the other one
Hey,
didn't. I
grandma,
was
have you ever tried TikTok?
to talk
TikTok. Have you ever tried
to who?
have you ever tried TikTok?
No, I don't want anything to do with TikTok.
Oh, I think you could put on a good live. If
In
you
TikTok?
TikTok, yeah, they have lives where you could go on there and like you talk to the people and then they come up on your panel and you talk to them. And it's basically it's like this. Only you get to pick up random people as you're talking, so people can come up, or you could obviously know them as well. Um, or you can not have anybody come up, and you could just talk to them, and they sit there and watch you on the phone.
Oh, this is all done on the cell phone?
Yeah, it's all done on the cell phone. I'll maybe one day when I'm over there, I'll set it up for you. So
Okay,
before
I'll
we
try
get
it out.
before we get going, if is there what's one thing that you would tell the world if everybody in the whole world can hear you right now, what would you say?
Just try to get along.
Just try to
Care
get
about
along.
others. Care about others people's feelings. Um, it's very easy to say I love you, but yet instead of saying I hate you, just say I love you. Think of the things you can see in a person that you like and let that grow instead of looking at all the things you don't like about a person and letting it fester inside of you. And don't let the family units die. Family units are growing apart. I know mine has, and it's very painful. Um, just remember the family that plays together stays together. Try to do
Well,
things that the whole family can do together.
the family that plays together stays together. I like it.
Yes.
I like it. Well, on that note, I'm going to let everybody know that we're grateful. If you watched this, thank you. Leave it in the comment. JG, thanks for showing up. Whoever else was in here, thanks for being here. Graham, 43 minutes. Was
Yeah.
it fun?
Yeah. I
Was it
like
all that
this.
you dreamed and hoped for?
I like talking with you. Yeah.
Yay.
It'll
Don't
get
forget.
better as we go along because I won't be so nervous.
Yep. No, I could tell I was just
I'll
taking it
open it
slow
more.
today, and then we'll see what tomorrow holds. If we make it to tomorrow.
We
uh,
will.
but
I
anyways,
hope.
I love you, Grandma. Thank you for hanging out with me.
I love you.